So, that book there is the Register of the Common Seal, 14th century, so 1300s, and it's a book in which all agreements and contracts and things like that were entered into for record keeping. Any formal documents issued by the priory, the dean of the chapter, were copied into that for posterity. Very cool.
And they decided they wanted to put it in. But it's what you do with these books when you've got them. My children keep on saying they don't want any of my crap now, of which I have vast quantities.
So what was your YouTube channel called again?
T'as raison. Non, qui sont tout au-dessus, c'est un plan de l'église. C'est un plan de l'église, on a l'entrée là. Et ça, c'est devant Jésus-Christ.
Right, I'm in the retro choir. Now, of course, that does sound a little bit like a band playing old songs, but the retro choir just literally means at the back of the cathedral, behind the choir section. There's a man called Godfrey de Lucy, who was the Bishop of Winchester from 1189 until 1204, and he's buried here. And it's thought, we're not certain, but it's thought that he was the man who instigated the construction of the retro choir to add on to the existing building at the back. And this really is where an awful lot of the bishops are laid to rest. And the tiling on the floor is absolutely incredible. This is from 1300, and we're still walking on it. You can see dotted around. There's limited access to this area for that reason. Thankfully today is an extremely quiet day, which suits me, of course. On average, 1,000 people a day come to this place. Here we are. So yeah, so 365,000 people per year. But you can see here, this is the original tile work, and this is the very tasteful reproduction tile work to repair it. It's very cool, actually. Gonna go back round. Right, this cathedral is in Winchester Cathedral, but it's also the Cathedral of St Swithin. St Swithin was the Bishop of Winchester way before the Norman Conquest in the mid-800s, and this is his shrine. Yeah. This place is just magnificent. Okay, so this man, it's a very small statue. His name was William Walker. He was born in 1869 and died very young in 1918. He is the man the pub was named after, and he was a deep-sea diver. Now, the reason for his fame, and it's entirely justified to be remembered, is because a lot of this area, the ground isn't entirely stable. It's a little bit marshy in places, and in the very late 19th century, cracks were starting to appear in the walls of the cathedral because it was built and supported by wooden posts hammered into the ground, and they were beginning to degrade substantially. This man was a trained Navy deep-sea diver. We are talking with the brass helmet and the screw-on plate and the heavy boots and the whole thing. This man dived under the cathedral for 6 years, and he was personally responsible, only him, personally responsible for saving the entire building, because he spent 6 years in a deep sea, in 19th century deep sea diving outfit. And it's estimated 25,000 bags of concrete, 900,000 bricks, untold amounts of wooden posts, and he went down and came up and went down and came up and went down and came up for 6 years underneath this building and saved the building. He died very young. He was 49 years old. I'm 50. Believe me, 49 is very young to die. But that's him. And as I said earlier, there's a pub dedicated to his memory with his name on it for that reason. Like I say, 6 years in a deep sea diving outfit underneath the building with tens of thousands, 900,000 bricks. Up and down, fixing the whole thing. Jesus. Anyway, right. I am beginning to be on a clock now, because I need to be back at the hotel for about 1:30. I have to hike up the hill to get my train at just gone 2. So, once around, and then Jane Austen. don't want to disturb this tour group here, but that massive expanse is the back of the organ. It is massive.
Go and have a look at the crypt, which is just round the corner. So you can go and have a look at that at the end of the tour, right, to bring you back to have a look at it. So
Right, here I am, standing just in front of the grave of Jane Austen. Her dates aren't on here actually, but she was born on the 16th of December 1775, and she died on the 18th of July 1817 at the very young age of 41 years old, as the entire world knows. She wrote 6 books in her lifetime. Emma, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, and Persuasion. And her name is immortal for that. She spent her entire life in Hampshire. Well, that's not absolutely true, actually. She was sent to Oxford with her sister to be educated when she was younger, but she caught typhus, which impacted her health really rather seriously. And so she came back and resolved to live and die down the road from her place of origin, her family and her friends. And she did just that. She was born in Steventon, fairly close by, but she died in this city and was laid to rest here. And there's a rather nice memorial there as well for her that was paid for by public subscription in 1900. Her books have rarely been out of print since her death. She achieved little fame in her lifetime. A little, but not much, considering. But after she died, I think it was 1830 something, and a major publisher recognized the value and the worth of her work and published all 6 volumes, and she has never been out of print since that time. And of course is responsible for BBC series and Keira Knightley rather good films, and Kate Winslet, of course, in Sense and Sensibility, wonderful film. But I love her work, absolutely love it. I carried a really increasingly battered Pride and Prejudice all over Africa last time. That was 27 years ago. It was one of the 11 books I carried with me. Anyway, her gift for wit, for intelligence, for social commentary, for feminism of her time, with her very wonderful female characters. And, if you like, landed gentry in this country and in this very nice part of England. But yeah, she was a Hampshire girl through and through. Nice. Anyway.
Qui monte en fait, c'est de partout. Il y a de l'eau comme ça. Tu vois, sur toute l'église. Sur toute l'église. C'est-à-dire que en fait, ça reste sur tout.
That's a good tree. Must be glorious in the summer. Right, I am now on a clock, so I am marching to my hotel. That last little bit there, I didn't record myself in the crypt because there was a very nice trifecta of French ladies, mother, daughter and granddaughter, being told some facts by a guide. But the crypt, that level of water runs underneath the entire cathedral. The statue is by a man called Andrew Gormley, and it actually has a capillary action. He's got a bowl in his hands, and a capillary action fills the bowl up with water when the water table is high enough, which it usually is. That is, I believe, I'm not certain, I believe the crypt is from where William Walker, the diver, accessed beneath. So, going down into the crypt, getting into your monumentally heavy diving gear, and spending 6 years of your life diving underneath the cathedral in pitch black, shoring the whole thing up. Amazing, man. Anyway, so, Winchester. I'm about to hop on the train to Wool, meet up with my brother. So, as always, if you like what I do and how I'm doing it, please do like and subscribe. Take care.